All right, you know, let's go play some Jimmy Mac.
Yeah,
Let's
Jimmy
play
Mac.
Well, hello everybody, welcome to Vinyl Treasures. I'm your host, Johnny G, John Galindo, coming to you live each and every Monday, only here on Oldies and More Radio, also live on the YouTube stream. Welcome to the July 11th, 2022 All 60s edition of the Vinyl Treasures Show. Johnny G's here from 8 p.m. Eastern Central Time to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Is it standard time or is it regular time? I don't know what it is, but it's 8 to 11 no matter how you cut it. Welcome to the All 60s edition. I play my original 60s 45s. Those of you on YouTube, if you're new, peeking in on the show, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Tell your friends about it. But you can hear me live on the stream on Oldies and More Radio. oldiesandmoreradio.com, so check that one out there. I will be in the chat room momentarily. I'm in my YouTube chat room already, but we opened up tonight's All 60s edition with an instrumental version. I'm sure many of you remember that song. Martha and the Vandellas had a hit with a song called Jimmy Mac. This was an instrumental cover by James Brown. He was on the organ there. Came out in June of 1967. Now, James Brown recorded for Smash Records for about 3 years, beginning in April '64. But the reason was there was bickering between James Brown and King label owner Sid Nathan. And it started when Brown wanted to do a live LP, And Nathan was kind of against it, but he said, you know what? You want to do it? You're going to pay for it. I want nothing to do with it. So James Brown did record his concert at the Apollo Theater. It was in 1962. Maybe some of you have that LP, Alive at the Apollo, came out on the King label, but they still were at odds. And then one day, I guess, James Brown said, that's it. I'm not doing any new recording for King, so he just stopped recording, but they continued to put out his singles, stuff that was recorded prior to 62. Sid Nathan was putting the stuff out on King Records. Then I think Brown announced, he said, well, you know what? That's it. My contract with King is almost over. All my vocals are going to come out on King, but I'm going to be doing instrumentals. And I'm going to sign with the Smash record label. So that's what happened. So on Smash Records, it was James Brown and his orchestra. So the early releases there were all instrumentals. That was the reason. And not only that, he also said, I am going to back up. I'm also, any people in my band I'm going to produce. And there was that Bobby Bird and Anna King. They were his singers. With his famous Flames. So that's why you see all those James Brown productions on those Smash releases. But it turned out he kind of pushed the cart when I think I played the release a couple weeks ago, a song called Out of Sight. That was a vocal. Well, that was the last straw for Sid Nathan, because then after that he said, you know what? I'm suing Smash Records. That's it. And he won the case. And I think they just put out an LP. It was the LP, what was it called? It was, I wrote it down. It was an instrumental LP that they put out, and then they had to pull it back, and then that was it. But then they kind of made up, and he ended up going back to King, and he had a lot of his big releases on King Records after that. He was more successful. I kind of think maybe the radio stations were a little bit scared of maybe playing his Smash releases, because King was a powerful label, maybe not as powerful as in the 50s, but they were powerful. They had some hits in the 60s there on King. So he went back to King, and Smash continued to release other stuff by James Brown. But that was our opener tonight, June 67, James Brown at the organ on Smash Jimmy Mac. Sorry I went on a little bit too long there, but you know what? You got to know the story. If Johnny G wants to know the story, and hopefully I let you guys know. And speaking of James Brown, when he went back to King Records, his next release, which came out in June of 1965, was a big hit for him. It was number 8 Billboard hit, and on Billboard and Cash, and a big number 1 R&B hit on R&B hit, and also on a bunch of stations, KCBQ in San Diego, KSOL in San Francisco, KATS in St. Louis, and KDAY in Los Angeles, California. And that is our opener on the vocal side of the program right now, and it's a request for Jerry Naz in June 1965, James Brown on the King label. And his big hit, it's called Papa's Got a Brand New Bag, Part 1 for Jerry.
Papa's in the same. He ain't too hip, but that new breed thing. He ain't no drag. Papa's got a brand new bag. Too fancy, but his fine is pretty clean. He ain't no drag. Papa's got a brand new bag. It's a jack, he's doing the fly. Don't play him cheap, cause you know he ain't shy. He's doing the monkey, the mashed potatoes, jump back jack, see you later, alligator. Come here, sister. Papa's in the same. got a brand new bag. But Papa, you're doing the jack. Papa, you're doing the jack. You're doing the twist. Just like this. You're doing the fight every day and every night. And the thing like the boomerang. Hey! Come on. Hey, hey! Come on. Hey! Said you uptight. You out of sight. Come on.
As by request for Jerry Nazen hits here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, we open up with one. And that one there on King Records, James Brown. James Brown, Papa's Got a Brand New Bag, Part 1. Now, Smash, as I mentioned, still retain some of the masters and continue to release them until the LP. It was called Out of Sight. There you go. I'm looking for it. It's below the right up here. Anyway, and that LP first came out in June 67, right at the time of the lawsuit, so they had to pull it back. They lost the case, Smash Records, and they re-released it in 1968 as he returned to King, and he continued to have hits. I Got You, I think, was the follow-up to this. That was another big hit for him. Anyway, Johnny G babbling on too much here. Let's play some music. Let's go to this group that began recording back in the late 1950s. First on the LG record label, they formed while attending high school in Charlotte, North Carolina, had releases on United Artists, Shell, Imperial, and Atlantic. They did 3 on the Atlantic label. This is their third. It features Chris Harris Jr. on lead. I think did he write the song? I'm not sure, I can't see it. But it's from February 67. They're called the Delecardos. The Delecardos on Atlantic. This is their second of 3 on Atlantic. It's called I Know I'm Not Much. That group called the Delecardos. They started back in the late 1950s, I think 59, but they were singing into the 1960s there, February 67. That's their second of 3 on the Atlantic label. I Know I'm Not Much, the Delecardos here. How about a twin spin on the Atlantic record label? And you all know this gal from Salem, Michigan. Her debut single was back in 1961 on the Karen label. It was called My Heart Went Do-Da-Da, but it was then picked up by the Atlantic record, folks, and it was her first release on the Atlantic label, probably best known for her 1963 single, Hello Stranger, but she's got a lot of great tunes. Baby I'm Yours is another one that's pretty good by her, but lots of great records by this gal by the name of Barbara Lewis. She had 17 releases on Atlantic Records between 62 and 69. Let's give a listen to her 13th, written by Howard Greenfield and Helen Miller, and this charted number 72 on Billboard, a number 12 record on WBGC in Chipley, Florida. Where's Chipley, Florida? Anyway, March 1967. Give a listen to Barbara Lewis on Atlantic. It's called I'll Make Him Love Me. Barbara Lewis.
Nothing's impossible in this crazy
That's the great sound of Barbara Lewis. Barbara Lewis from March 1967. That's her 13th of 17 releases on the Atlantic record label. I'll Make Him Love Me. Kind of a fast thing of Make Me Your Baby, if you know that too, which is another cool record by Barbara Mason. I like her. Let's continue here on the All 60s edition. I featured a couple of sides on my All 60s show by this next group out of, is it Albion, Michigan? I played their first and second singles. It came out on the Way Out record label. I think on one of the shows it was Please Baby Please, and another one, their second, I Won't Hurt. But here's the group's sixth and final release that came out on the Way Out record label. It's from April of 1969. It features Johnny Washington on lead. Let's give a listen to the Sensations that recorded for Way Out Records. The song is called It's a New Day.
It's a new day.
It's a new day.
Lord, yeah. It's a new day. Sun is shining, sunny and bright.
It's a new day.
It's a new day.
Almost inside.
People working
April 1969 release there for the Sensations. Sensations on the Way Out record label. It's a New Day is the name of that tune. That's their sixth release on the Way Out record label. Remember, if you want Johnny G to flip over a 45, you need to ask me. So those of you in the Oldies and More chat room, also in the YouTube chat room, if you know the flip side is one of your favorites or a song you like, I will play it. I'm taking a chance to play it and Mark Speck in our YouTube chat room, he said, Johnny G, can you flip this 45 over? We'll do it instantaneously for Mark Speck now as we flip over and give a listen to the B-side of this Sensations 45 on the Way Out record label. It's called Two Can Make It. Two Can Make It from April 1969. This is going out to Mark Speck on the Way Out record label. These are the Sensations.
I've been working hard, trying to make it on my own. I thought I could make it by myself. Then I found this girl. She showed me it takes two. You've got to have somebody else. I've been trying to make it on my own, but now I know one can't make it alone. It takes two to live in this world. A real good guy and a trusting girl. My baby, my baby, my baby. Trying to make it on my own. I thought I could make it by myself. Till I found this girl. She showed me it takes two. You've got to have somebody else. Now I'm gay and I'm proud to say that I love my woman in every way. Every way. Hard times we call smooth weather because we really bring together. I've been working hard, trying to make it on my own. I thought I could make it by myself. Till I found this girl. She showed me it takes two. It just takes two. Can't make, baby. I love you, me and you. I wanna understand you. To the world and I need. I wanna understand you. Kiss you, my lady. I need your sweet love. I wanna understand. Squeeze you, baby, squeeze.
That's instant request there from Mark Speck. That's the Sensations, their final single on the Way Out record label from April 1969. It's not. It's the flip side if it's a new day. It's called Two Can Make It, and Mark Speck says that it's considered by the UK collectors crossover soul. Interesting. From Northern Soul, they call it crossover soul. Anyway, let's continue here on the All 60s edition of the Vinyl Treasure Show. Let's go to Detroit, Michigan for the Dramatics. They had their first two releases on Eddie Wingate's Wingate record label. Let's give a listen to their second now. This has odd lyrics, but it's a great dance tune. The lyrics are kind of corny, but it was written by Andre Williams and Norma Tony, and it features Ronald Banks on lead. This was a number 9 record on WJLB out of Detroit, Michigan. October 1966 release. They're called the Dramatics. The Dramatics on the Wingate label, and a really odd title. It's called Inky Dinky Wang Dang Do. The Dramatics. Those are the Dramatics there. That is their second release on the Wingate record label. As their first release, I think Mark mentioned it, they were called the Dynamics. They messed it up. It was supposed to be the Dramatics. October 1966 release. Song entitled Inky Dinky Wang Dang Do. Kind of oddball lyrics. Good music in the background there, that is for sure. And their next release came out on the Sport record label. That's a good tune. And others on the Volt label, Cadet and ABC, plus others too. This group goes into the 1970s, maybe into the early 80s. As we continue here on the All 60s edition, now on the June 4th, 2022 All 60s show, I featured a twin spin by the Manhattans, that great group out of Jersey City, New Jersey. They had 14 releases. It came out on Joe Evans' Carnival label, featured their 8th. It was called I Betcha Couldn't Love Me, and their 12th called I Call It Love. How about another twin spin? This time, let's give a listen to their 4th release by the group, written by group member Edward Sonny Bevins. This charted number 135. It didn't hit 100 on the Billboard Hot 100, but it was a big number 3 record on WBBE in Chicago. We go to March 1965. These are the Manhattans on Carnival Records. It's called I'm the One That Love Forgot. The Manhattans.
Nobody loves him. Nobody cares. No one to hold. No one to kiss. Don't you know now? I have no one at all. No one to miss. I'm the one love for. Don't let me be that one love forgets. Oh no. Some love, a little love. Big love or small. What good is life, baby, without any love at all? I'm the one love for. Oh no, 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 no. A heart full of pain, nothing to look forward to and nothing to gain. I'm the one love forget. Don't let me be that one love forgets. Oh no, 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 no. I laugh though I wanna cry. I live though I wanna die, 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 die. But I've got my pride, don't you know, and I'll be hurting deep down inside. No one to help me, help me, help me, help me. But I feel blue. No one to say, darling, darling, darling. I love you. I'm the one love forget. Don't let me be that one love forgets. Oh no, no, no. Don't let me sit here crying, baby. Come back and take this head off me, baby. Oh yeah.
That's the sound of the Manhattans here on the All 60s edition. March 1965, that's their fourth release on the Carnival label. I'm the One That You Forgot is the name of the tune. I tell you have a twin spin on the Manhattans. How about we play the B-side to their 13th of 14 releases on the Carnival label. This was covered by Lee Williams and the Cymbals, also recording on the Carnival record label. This is from June 1969. The Manhattans in a twin spin on the Carnival record label. It's called Love Is Breaking Out, parentheses, All Over.
Let it be known by the song that we sing that love is breaking out all over. Let it be shouted from the highest hill that love is breaking out all over. They're saying, I do love you, baby. Yes, I love you, baby. Let it be carried through the air by the wind. Love is breaking out all over. It's gonna grow till there is no end. Love is breaking out all over. They're saying, I do love you, baby. Yes, I do love you, baby. Don't try to fight it. There is no use. You're gonna catch it. You're gonna catch it. There's gonna be eventually nothing but love, 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 baby. Let it be rung by the bells in the steeple that love is breaking out all over. Let it be shared by all of our people that love is breaking out all over. They're saying, I do love you, baby. Yes, I love you, baby. Love is breaking out all over me, baby. Because I feel it, my baby. I love you, baby. Yes, I do. I really love you, baby. Love is breaking out. It's breaking all over. I know you feel it, my baby. Love, 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 love is breaking out.
B-sides here on the Vinyltreasure Show and a twin spin by the Manhattans. Their June 1969 release. That's their 13th of 14 on the Carnival record label. Love is Breaking Out All Over is the name of the tune. You know, Johnny G does a touch of the 1970s here on the All 60s edition, and we're doing that right now, this 45, although it's borderline because it was released in January of 1970, so really, realistically, it would have to have been recorded in 1969, at least in December of 1969. But this group is from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and they're doing a cover song. This was first recorded in 1968 by a group called The Hassles. The Hassles recorded this first, and co-written by Billy Joel. Billy Joel was a member of The Hassles, and this group is called the Teardrops. They're out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The lead singer on this, his name is Sam Ippolito. Sam Ippolito on lead, January 1970. Let's give a listen to the Teardrops on the Max label and their rendition of the Hassles tune, Every Step I Take.
Everything I do, thinking thoughts of only you, girl. Everywhere I go, dreams of you will always follow. Every step I take, every move I make, I'm trying to escape my life without you. I tell every lie, but I know deep inside where within me died. I close my eyes to see a picture of your face before me. Upon my lips I feel your tender kiss, it's almost real. Every step I take, every move I make, I'm trying to escape my life without you. I tell every lie, but I know deep inside the world within me died. Every step I take, every move I make, I'm trying to escape my life without you. I tell every lie, but I know deep inside the world within me died. Every step I take, every move I make, I'm trying to escape my life without you. Every step I take, every move I make, I'm trying to escape my life without you. Every step I take, every move I make, I'm trying to escape my life.
They're out of Pittsburgh. Whoops. They're out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Those are the Teardrops, January 1970 release there. They're covering the Hassles release from 68, Every Step I Take. That's on the Max record label. Lead singer, his name is Sam Ippolito. Now, the flip side, Mark Speck is asking Johnny G to do the flip side here. The flip side is actually a cover of an Eddie Floyd tune, Raise Your Hand. So let's give a listen to this side here as we do an instant request for Mark Speck, the Teardrops. This is actually the intended A side of the 45 here as I put the needle on the 45 here. This is on Max Records, January 1970. I remember buying this from Barry Saltz, but I had a copy already. I have 2 copies of this record. But they're called the Teardrops on Max Records. This is the A side, a cover of the Eddie Floyd tune called Raise Your Hand. This is going out to Mark Speck. Instant request.
that has a lot to offer with today's living. I'd like to bring a little freedom into your life. The song goes something like this. Well, I ask y'all to raise your hand. I want everybody to raise your hand and give your neighbor a freedom sign. If there's something you need, well, baby, here I am. Now, don't you just sit there feeling bad. You better get up off the stand and just raise your hand. Raise it up high now. Just raise your hand. You know I'm standing in line. And I feel alright. I'm gonna give you my love. If you just let me try. You better get up off the stand and just raise your hand. Raise it up now. Raise it up high. Just raise your hand. Just raise your hand and sing on the stand. Come on, raise your hand. Does everybody got the feeling? For those of you people that are afraid, how about if we get you to clap your hands just a little bit to get the thing underway here? Everybody, clap your hands just a little. Oh yeah, you're looking so good. Hey, you brother, I don't want you to worry about your neighbor. I want everybody to do their own thing. Come on now. When you listen to the words, it has a lot of meaning and a lot of feeling for today. We want to bring a little love into your heart. Come on. Hey, if there's something you need, now baby, here I am. I'm telling you. Now don't you just sit there, feeling bad. You better get up off your stand and just raise your hand. Oh yeah, you're doing it now. Just raise your hand. You know I'm standing in line. I wanna give you all my love. You know I'm feeling alright, baby. Just let me try. You better get up off your stand and get to raise your hand. Everybody's getting up off the stand. Gonna raise your hand. Raise your hand. You look so nice. Yeah, just raise your hand. Clap your hands, talk your feet, do it all. Come on, raise your hand. Just raise your hand. Come on, raise it up. Raise your hand. Yeah. Just raise your hand. Come on, raise them up high. Just raise your hand.
Go, be careful what you wish for. That's the Teardrops there. That's the A side. That record probably had no chance to be played on. Although I don't know. Were records 4 minutes? 4 minutes. 4 minutes and 20 seconds. I thought it said 30. No, it's 20 seconds. That's a long time for a 45 there. I could have fit in 2 45s for that one. January 1970 release. That's the flip side of Every Step I Take, which I think is the better side. But you wanted to hear that one. I got to be a little bit more cautious. I thought that record was okay, but I didn't think it was that long. It's called Raise Your Hand, a cover of the Eddie Floyd tune. Let's continue here. Let's stay in 1970, although this singer from Layton, Alabama, who is the cousin to Jimmy Hughes, had his biggest hit in 1966 with his debut single on the Atlantic record label. I know many of you out there know the song When a Man Loves a Woman, but he had 21 releases on the Atlantic label between 1966 and 1972. This is his 16th. Now, this song written by a bassist Billy Cox, who would perform a lot with Jimi Hendrix. This is from March 1970 for Percy Sledge. Percy Sledge on Atlantic Records, and the song is called Push Mr. Pride Aside. Percy Sledge.
Push, push.
As Percy Sledge. Percy Sledge from March 1970. It's on the Atlantic record label Push Mr. Pride Aside. As we push on to more 45s here, and this is one that I really, really like. And this 45 was one of my Aunt Mary's favorite tunes by this singer. Brings back lots of memories for your host, Johnny G, this singer born in Nashville, Tennessee, but raised in Cleveland, Ohio. His name was Charles Hatcher, first recorded as a member of a 1950s group called the Future Tones. That's a rare 45 that I have played on my 50s show, but I featured him often here on the All 60s edition. He signed with the Detroit-based Rick Tick record label back in 1965. Here's his third of 6 on Rick Tick. This was number 48, both on Billboard and Cashbox, number 9 on the R&B chart, and a big number 1 record on WTAC in Flint, Michigan, also #1 on WJLB and WCHB in Detroit. We go to January 1966 for Mr. Edwin Starr. Edwin Starr on the Rick Tick label. It's called Stop Her on Sight, SOS.
I'm sending out an SOS because I'm in so much distress. And if you see my baby, if you see my baby, stop on sight. Yes, I am. From Maine to Mexico. Hey, now. Yeah, I'm gonna tell the FBI. I might even get myself a secret spot because I love my baby. So if you see my baby, stop on sight. I lost my baby. I lost my baby. You can tell her by the way she walks. You can tell her by the way she talks. And you can tell her by the way she smiles. I guarantee you it will drive you wild. So if you see my baby, if anybody sees my baby, stop on sight. Yes, I am. 'Cause I miss my baby so. Hey, now. I don't know where she's gone. But I want you to stop my baby. Stop on sight.
January 1966, there, the great Edwin Starr. Edwin Starr on the Rick Tick record label. That is his third release on the Rick Tick label, Stop Her on Sight, SOS. Whenever I used to go looking for records out in the wild, I would find copies of that record. I probably have about 10 copies of this 45. One time I found 5 nice mint originals, and I play them. I'm not gonna get rid of those because I love to play the record. Of course, it's styrene. You know, Johnny G hates styrene, but anyway, and I just couldn't resist. I had to play his follow-up release on the Rick Tick record label. I saw it in the box as both these songs, that one and this one, they were written by Al Hamilton, Richard Morris, and Edwin Starr. Now, his second release, or his follow-up, his fourth release on Rick Tick, only made it up to 92 on Cashbox, 84 on Billboard, but a big #4 record on WJLB in Detroit, Michigan. Here's a twin spin on Mr. Edwin Starr. This one, the SOS, released in January 66. In April 66, Rick Tick released this one, Edwin Starr, and his tune called Headline News.
I wanna spread the news all around. Read all about it. About the new love that I found. Everybody's saying extra, extra. You better read about it. Extra, I found my baby and it's getting brand new. Don't you hear them saying extra, extra. Read about it. Extra, in my neighborhood, they say, oh, what a change in me. People sing when I walk by, it's not hard to see. She brings out the best in me, lights me up like a Christmas tree, and it's here brand new. It's here brand new. I don't you hear them saying extra, extra. You better read about it. Extra. You know I found my baby, and it's here brand new. I found my baby.
That's our twin spin on Edwin Starr there. We heard Stopper on Sight, SOS, and the follow-up there. Follow-up headline news, Edwin Starr, April 1966 release. It's on the Rick Tick record label. Let's continue now. And I played the up-tempo side of this 45 on my April 4th, 2022 show. The song was called I'm in Danger, and I featured it on that show on its first press, the Bashy label. It would then be picked up for national distribution on the Daycar label, and I'm talking about The Visitors. So let's flip the 45 over here as I feature it on Daycar Records. This is from November 1968, The Visitors on Daycar. This was the intended A-side. It's called I'm in Danger. Johnny G getting caught here. I usually get caught maybe once or twice a show. I'm prepared. with the next 45 on. See, it's not that easy when you do MP3s. You can drop and drag. So easy to do that. Not that easy to drop and drag with the 45s here. That is a cool, soulful sound there. Wonderful ballad by the Visitors, November 1968. First issued on the Bashy label. I played the up-tempo flip called I'm in Danger. This was the ballad, the Visitors on Day Car, I'm in Danger. Now, the group's that was their debut single, their first of two on a Day Car. They have two more that came out on the Tangerine label. But let's continue now. Let's go back out to Chicago, Illinois. Now, this group consisted of Gerald Dickerson, Charles Boyd, Michael Wiggins, and Eugene Amos. Collectively, they were known as the Creations. And this was their debut single, their first of three that came out on the Globe label out of Chicago, August 1966. Let's give a listen to the Creations on Globe Records. It's called Oh Baby.
Start the night out right, oh baby. Oh baby, oh baby. You're looking so fine, I've got you on my mind, oh baby. Oh baby, oh baby. Be my little baby, my little baby, I'm falling in love. My heart is in a spin, oh baby. Oh baby, oh baby. One look from your eye and I'm not a shy guy, oh baby. Oh baby, oh baby. So come on and be my baby, my little baby, my baby. I'm falling in love. It will brighten my day, oh baby. Oh baby, oh baby. You just be true, there's nothing I wouldn't do, oh baby. Oh baby, please be my baby, my little baby, my baby. I'm falling in love.
August 1966 release there for the Creations. The Creations on the Globe label, their first of three, a song entitled Oh Baby, and the group would then record as the Contributors of Soul with releases on the Tad/Venture label, also on what is that? New Miss, and I forget the EMAS, is that the label? I don't know. I have them on New Miss, I know that, and I also have them on Venture, I think. But anyway, let's continue now. Back to the girl group sound here. We head to Chicago, Illinois for this girl group that included lead singer Patricia Hamilton and her sister Rosina and their friend Barbara Peterman. This is their debut single that came out on the local Bandera label. This charted number 16 on WNIO in Niles, Ohio. Niles, Ohio. Where is Niles, Ohio? November 1967. Give a listen to the Lovelights. The Lovelights on the Bandera label. Their tune is called I Found Me a Lover. That's the debut single there for the Velvelettes out of Chicago, November 1967 on the Bandera record label. That one there, I Found Me a Lover, and the featured lead singer Patricia Hamilton on lead there. How about a twin spin on the Velvelettes here? And after this single that I just featured, their next release came out on the Lock label. It was called How Can I Tell My Mom and Dad, which was subsequently picked up by the Uni record label in 1969, which they followed it up with this release. This is their second of 3 on the Uni label, with another touch of the 70s. I know Miami Santi loves the 1970s. This is April 1970 for the Velvelettes on Uni Records. It's called Who You Gonna Hurt Now, a twin spin by the Velvelettes. That's our twin spin on the Velvelettes out of Chicago, Illinois, April 1970 release. That's their second of 3 on the Uni label. Who You Gonna Hurt Now, as we continue here on the All 60s edition. Let's go to Uniontown, Pennsylvania for this next singer. First recording for the Bayuk label in 1961. Has other releases on Crosley and Rapid and Hourglass Records. Now here's the B-side of a tune recorded in 1970, as the RCA matrix numbers on this starts with a Z. And if you're familiar with matrix numbers and the RCA label, then you know Z stands for a song that was recorded in 1970. Now, the A-side is a song called Do It that was first issued in November of 1969. So this was not on the flip of that one, and that one was on Hourglass Records. This one is on the Spectrum label, and it was, I guess, Do It was re-released in 1970, although it's got a it has a Z. Maybe he re-sung it. I don't know. But anyway, we're going to play the flip side, which I absolutely love this side of the record. And It's not on the Hourglass label. It's only available on the Spectrum label. I wish I had it in better shape. But, it's one of those records you pick up in the wild. It looks interesting. It didn't look like a 1970 record. That is for sure. But it is from 70. His name is Billy Cheray. It's on Spectrum Records. The song is called Crying Clown. Billy Cheray.
Everybody sees me standing here with a smile upon my face, but no one will ever know I'm the saddest one in the place. Fame and fortune belongs to me, yeah, but a happy man I'll never be. But my heart is broken and I'm feeling let down, and I call myself the crying clown. They all think I'm a carefree guy. Outside I smile, inside I cry. Used to be such a happy man, but things don't always go like they're planned. When things are all gone wrong, I know I've got to be strong, for my heart is broken and I'm feeling let down, and I call myself the crying clown. Oh yeah, man, I don't want you to pity me, though I'm sad and it's plain to see. I let my life go on as it stands and keep on pushing without a helping hand. For my life has been so blue, little girl, since I lost you. I keep on walking with my head held high. No, I just can't take it. I just can't take it. No, I don't want you to see. No, the tears falling from my eyes. No, I'm a crying clown. No, baby, please. No, I got to keep on pushing, though it's hard. No. Baby, no.
That's Billy Cheray. Lost my place. Billy Cheray there, 1970 release on the Spectrum record label. Crying Clown is the name of the tune. Let's go back to Detroit, Michigan for the sound of Diana Ross and the Supremes. Their 23rd release for the Motown folks was a song called In and Out of Love. It was a big number 10 record on Cashbox, number 9 on Billboard, 16 on the R&B chart, but I'm not going to play that hit side. I don't want to get a copyright strike. But play the flip side of it. Let's give a listen to the B-side. It's a Holland Dozier Holland composition, first recorded and a hit for the Isley Brothers. Well, I don't know how big of a hit, national hit, but the Isley Brothers did it first on the Tamla label in June of 1966. But this one came out in October of 1967, and it did chart. This charted number 5 on WAMS in Wilmington, Delaware. Let's go back to October 1967 for Diana Ross and the Supremes on the Motown record label with their cover of the Isley Brothers tune. It's called I Guess I'll Always Love You.
Open up your heart and let me live again.
B-sides here on the All 60s edition of the Vinyl Treasure Show. 45 I found in the wild at the Cherry Door thrift shop. When I was in high school, I would kind of frequent that thrift shop. They used to have records for $0.25 there, and I was lucky. There was a box of records that came in, you know, those tote boxes that had 50 records in them, but they were mostly hits, but they were nice, they were decent shape, so I bought them all for $0.25. I had $10 on me, so I think I extinguished that $10. That's a B-side there. For Diana Ross and the Supremes, October 67, the B-side to In and Out of Love, I Guess I'll Always Love You. That's the Isley Brothers tune. This was their second single that was released as Diana Ross and the Supremes, and the one prior to this was the first one that they gave Diana Ross top billing on. It was Reflections, I think, was the 45 for that one. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, and I'm pretty sure this next group is out of Los Angeles, California. They were first recorded on the Vardan record label as The Emotions, and this is their second single where they changed their name to The Lovers. It was first issued on the Gate label, pretty rare record on the Gate label. I see that, what, Reed, you have this, Reed has this 45. It's a rare record. It is, but first issued on the Gate label, then it was picked up for national distribution on the Philips label in February of 1966, but it first came out on Gate, was issued in late 1965, November, December of 65. Let's give a listen to The Lovers, aka The Emotions, on Gate Records. It's called Do This For Me.
We've been in the service now, friends will always be. You're going back to our hometown. Do this for me. If you see my girl, yeah, do this for me. Very soon, very soon, your face I'll see. Will you do this for me? Do this for me. Do this for me. Don't tell her I love her. Oh no, I'll do that when I write. Tell her to pray, yeah, yeah, make it home alright. Will you do this for me? Do this for me. Do this for me. You're such a lonely boy. I'm so lonely. Such a lonely boy. I'm so all alone. Such a lonely boy. This heartache, 'cause I want to go home. If you see my girl, yeah, do this for me. Tell her that soon, very soon, her face I'll see. Will you do this for me? Do this for me. Do this for me. Do this for me. Yeah. Do this for me. Don't tell her I love her. Do this for me. Yeah. Do this for me. Just tell her it's coming on. Do this for me. Yeah. Do this for me. Do this for me. Yeah.
Those are The Lovers, aka The Emotions. I was guessing they were out of Los Angeles only because their earlier release on on Vardan, that was a label out of Los Angeles. Didn't see where this label was out of, but Reed King in our YouTube chat room states that they are out of the Bay Area. the Oakland, San Francisco area, I guess. It's not an easy record to find on the first press. Came out on the Gate record label. You can get it also on Philips Records, released in February 66, but it's crappy styrene. That record is just an okay VG copy of it, but plays a lot better than my Phillips release. Do This For Me is the name of that one by the Lovers, late 1965 release. Let's continue now as we go to a family duet by these gals. They're from Kingston, North Carolina. It's an aunt and her niece. So you tell me how many aunts sing with their niece. I don't know, many, maybe in the choir, but I don't know about on record. But this duet, first recorded for the Avanti label back in 1963. I have that release. Then they signed with the New York City Heidi label for 3 releases. This is their second. Now, the aunt, her name is Barbara Gaskins, and her niece is Brenda Gaskins. So they recorded as Barbara and Brenda. This one arranged by Bert Keys. This charted number 21 on WRAP out of Norfolk, Virginia. Let's go to December 1964 for Barbara and Brenda on the Heidi label. It's called A Very Special Love.
People wonder why I smile and sing most every day. I look at them a while and then politely say, I've got a special kind of love, a special kind of love, a very, 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 very special, special kind of love. If they knew the way you kissed and call me pretty names, they know I can't resist the way I'm set aflame from your special kind of love, your special kind of love, your very, 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 very special, special kind of love. You've got a certain way of holding a hand that thrills me deep inside. Hey, yeah, and I feel so wonderful when I see that certain look in your eyes. When they ask me to explain the way you make me feel, I give them just your name, the rest I don't reveal about your special kind of love, your special kind of love. Oh yes, I love your special kind of love. Your very, 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 very special, special kind of love. Oh yes, I love your special kind of love.
That's Barbara and Brenda Gaskins, aunt and niece, December 1964 on the Heidi label, A Very Special Love. That's their second of 3 on the Heidi record label. Let's continue now for this next singer. He is from Layton, Alabama, started singing gospel with the Singing Clouds, and he also is a cousin to singer Percy Sledge, and he first recorded for the Guidin' Folks back in 1962. Then he signed with Fame Records in 1963, had 13 releases on the Fame label. Let's give a listen to his third, a tune written by Dan Penn and Rick Hall. We go back to September 1964 for Jimmy Hughes. Jimmy Hughes on the Fame label. It's called Lovely Ladies.
a ring in my phone. Lovely ladies, save some time for me, for I need me somebody, yeah, to keep me company. I just want a pretty girl so fine to talk to me and help me spend my time. Lovely ladies, drive me out of my mind. Portland, Maine, to New Orleans, I meet them everywhere I go. In every town and city, the girls are so pretty. Hallelujah, I just love them so. Lovely ladies, now don't you understand? Listen, that every man needs a woman, yeah, and every woman needs a man. 'Cause ever since he was made from a bone, a man needs a woman to lean on. So lovely ladies, welcome me back home. Got a ring in my phone. Oh, I'm back home, baby.
There you go, with a very grainy press there, or at least at the end there, as I got caught for the second time. You know, I'm getting caught tonight a lot here, and I'm innocent. Anyway, that's a cool sound there by Mr. Jimmy Hughes. Jimmy Hughes on the Fame record label, his third of 13 releases. A Dan Penn, Rick Hall, a Penn tune, Lovely Ladies from September 1964. Unfortunate that he died on April 1st of 1997, just short of his 62nd birthday of cancer. But remember, Jimmy Hughes here on the All 60s edition. Let's continue here, as up next is a 45 my aunt purchased back in the spring of 1968 by this duet, which this is their debut single, which became their biggest hit. Her name is Peggy Stoutmeyer. She's from Opp, Alabama, and his name is Joseph M. Hewell. He's from Phoenix City, Alabama. Collectively, they were known as Peggy Scott and Jojo Benson. This is their first of 7 on the SSS International label. This was number 31 on Billboard, 22 on Cashbox, a number 5 R&B hit for them, and a number 1 record on WJIM in Lansing, Michigan, and WIGO in Atlanta, Georgia. Let's go back to March 1968. I always loved this record by Peggy Scott and Jojo Benson on SSS International. It's called Lover's Holiday.
What's gonna happen, Joe?
That's the debut single there for Becky Scott and Jojo Benson, March 1968, release on the SSS International. Yes, Rich in our in the Oldies and More chat room, it is Shelby Singleton's SSS International. Lover's Holiday is the name of the tune. That was number 5 on the R&B chart. And I remember when my aunt brought that 45 home, I had a General Electric, one of those plastic, well, it was like a beige or dark, like a dark auburn Victrola. It was plastic. You opened it up and it had like the white tone arm, and the needle was like that clip-in needle, and you can stack your 45s up, and it had the centerpiece on there, and you can take the 2 speakers out. And I would put, with this song, I would put both speakers right next to my ears and blast them. Maybe that's why I'm going deaf. But I would play that record. Of course, not that copy, but another copy that I've since worn out. But anyway, let's continue here on the All 60s edition. Up next, the group, they had only 2 releases. This song was top 10 here in New York City. It played a lot on WWRL. It charted on the Billboard R&B chart, made it up to number 42, but it was a number 9 record on WWRL. And it first came out on the Lolo Records, but then after they performed it at the Apollo Theater in New York City, Cala Records picked it up and put it out. But the song was written by Eddie Jones. Eddie Jones, of course, was the lead singer of a 1950s vocal group called the Demons, plus others, and the tune produced by George Kerr. It features Larry Saunders on lead. I'm featuring it on the first press on the Lolo label. It came out in November of 1969. Let's give a listen to Top Shelf. Does that have a familiar ring to it, folks? The group is called Top Shelf. It's on Lolo Records. The song is called Give It Up.
Let me hear you say it one more time. Ooh, baby, give it up. That's no way to treat me. Snatching your lips away. Snatching your lips away. When you move someone like you move me, girl, didn't you know you'd have to pay? Yes, I want it. I need it. And baby, you got it. And I've got to get it. Oh, 'cause now is sure the time for you to give up all of your love. Baby, baby, let me hear you say it now. Give it up. Let me hear you say it one more time. Give it up. Ooh, baby, yeah. Give it up. Oh, how much teasing do you think that one man can take? One man can take. When you're hugging and you're squeezing, girl, did you know it's enough to make anyone man break? And now I want it, I need it, and baby, baby, you got it, and I've gotta get it. Oh, 'cause now is sure the time for you to give up all of your love. Baby, 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 let me
That group is called Top Shelf there. November 1969. Features Larry Saunders on lead on the Lolo record label. Also came out on the Calla label, but first on Lolo. Song entitled Give It Up. Johnny G gives it up. His collection every Monday night right here on Oldies. I was going to say Saturday night, but I do give it up on Saturday night too. But I'm giving it up tonight here on Monday night from 8 to 11. Let's continue now. Let's go back to Detroit, Michigan for this trio that included Donald Storball, Richard Mitchell, and the lead singer Samuel George. They signed with Karen Records 1963 maybe. I don't know if it's 63 or 64. Their first single, very difficult to date, but they had 10 singles in all that came out on the Karen record label, and I'm sure you know their biggest hit was their second release from 1966 on the Karen label. The song was called Cool Jerk. That was their biggest hit, but here's their fourth release, written by group member Donald Storball. It features Samuel George on lead. This was number 79 on Cashbox, number 65 on Billboard, 26 on the R&B chart, a big number 8 on WJLB. If you were listening in Detroit, Michigan, October 1966. These are the Capitals on the Karen label. It's called We Got a Thing That's in the Groove. Those are the Capitals there, October 1966 release. Samuel George, the lead singer on that. That's on the Karen record label. We got a Thing That's in the Groove is the name of that tune. That, what did I say that was? That was 10 release. What did I say that was? That was their 10 releases. That was their second. That's their fourth. There you go. John G losing his mind. As YouTube is warning me about a copyright audio detected. Now, nothing's playing, and I don't know what's up with YouTube, because Saturday night I had they sent me an email. They say, Johnny G, unfortunately, your Saturday night Vinyl Treasure show has been blocked in 2 countries. No one in Russia or Belarus is added, can view your video. It is totally blocked there. And it's unfortunate because you played Tooraloolaloo by Bing Crosby. I said, really? I said, so I went to check. I went back because you can find out exactly where on your video the copyright issues are. So I click it, and they mistook. They said that Tooraloolaloo by Bing Crosby was really It's You by The Plants, an R&B vocal group from the Bronx, New York. A rare record, by the way, on J&S from 57. I said, are you kidding me? I said, not that my fans in Russia or Belarus are going to be upset, but that's what they do. I said, you better get your filter fixed, as they're still giving me a copyright audio. Anyway, let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. And how about a twin spin on the Capitals? Now, it was really unfortunate, though, that the lead singer of the Capitals, Samuel George, he was murdered on March 17th of 1982. He was stabbed to death during a domestic dispute. He was only 39 years old, and it was unfortunate there. But let's do a twin spin here as we remember Samuel George. Here's their fifth release, their follow-up to the one I just played. Actually, it's the B-side here. The A-side was called Patty Cake, but this is the B-side I like better. Both records produced by Ollie McLaughlin. Ollie McLaughlin produced both of these songs here. March 67 for the Capitals on the Karen label. It's called Take a Chance on Me, the Capitals.
You have doubts in your mind, baby, 'cause love seems to be a mystery. A mystery, girl. You don't know what kind of guys to believe, 'cause so many of them told you lies. Told you lies, girl. But if you're tired of being misused, cheated on and refused, take a chance on me, baby. No other girls have a on the side. Nothing from you will I ever have. I cross my heart and I raise my hand. I love you till the honest end. I love you till the end, honest baby. I need you, adore me, maybe. Take a chance on me, baby. Take a chance on me, baby. All right. Hey, baby. All the loving and whatever you've been missing, I'll make it all up to you, girl. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. Yes, I will, my baby. If you take a chance on me, baby, take a chance on me, baby. Hey, baby, alright. Hey, I love you, and I, baby, take a chance on me, baby.
For lighting up this other record here, I don't want my needle to fall off the turntable. I think it's okay. There you go. That's our twin spin by the Capitals there. We started off with We Got a Thing That's in the Groove from October 66. We followed it up with their follow-up to that, song entitled Take a Chance on Me, Baby. Actually, that's the flip side there, the B-side from March 67, the Capitals on the Karen label. Let's go back to Detroit, Michigan for this next single. This is actually a girl group out of Kalamazoo, Michigan. This is their very last release. though, and they consisted of sisters Carol and Millie Gill, and her cousins Bertha and Norma Barbie and Betty Kelly. Collectively, they were known as the Velvelettes. This was their very last single. Their previous 5 releases were on the Motown subsidiary VIP label, but their last one came out, on the Soul label, and it features Carol Gill on lead. This bubbled under at only number 102 on the Billboard Hot 100, 71 on Cashbox, 43 on the R&B chart, but a number 21 record on WBBE and WKNR in the Detroit Dearborn area. And this is from August 66. Let's give a listen to the Velvelettes. It's on the Soul label. It's called These Things Will Keep Me Loving You. That's the very last single for the Velvelettes. Velvelettes from August 1966. Carol Gill, she's on lead on the Soul label. These Things Will Keep Me Loving You, as they must be behind because they're giving me a copyright heads up there. So possibly they are. And my copy of this, although I probably have a stock copy somewhere, but I would buy both the promos and the stocks. Some of the promos have, the original flip, but other ones did not. It was pot luck. I have that with multiple Motown releases. Now, all the promos didn't always come that way because, I don't know, maybe in certain areas they were just promoting only that one song, but in the test markets, they left the flip side there for it to be flipped, possibly. But I didn't pay more than $1 for these, though. I'll pay more for the stock copy, especially if it's mint, that is for sure. Johnny G babbling on here. Let's continue for this next singer from Simmsport, Louisiana, but he relocated to Oakland, California back in 1959. Started singing with a vocal group called the Golden Tones on the Hush record label. I have those 45's, and and then going solo in 1960. His biggest hit was a song called The Chokin' Kind from 1969 for the the Soundstage 7 label. And I would say Growing in the Sea of Love from 71 on Spring was probably his biggest hit, I would say. A 45 that I purchased back in 1971. But let's give a listen to the B-side to his final release on Soundstage 7. It's his 17th release. The A-side was called That's the Way I Want Our Love to Be, but this is the flip from October 1970. Mr. Joe Simon on Soundstage 7. The song is called, it's one word, it's called When.
Everybody, come on out. There's a celebration. Men, women, and children. There's a celebration. I hear the banker joking with the plumber. I see preachers smiling by the number. Everybody believe it's a wonder. Come on out and join the celebration. Hope, faith, and trust will surely build a better nation. Get on out to the celebration. Peace, brother, we have found our salvation. It don't matter which color, black or white, we all brothers. We'll give respect to each other. Come on out to the celebration. Oh, we can have a good time if you come on out to the celebration. Come on, come on, come on, come on out and join the celebration. I tell you we can have a good time. I'm willing to have a good time. Are you willing? Come on out. Oh, come on out and let's have a
Touch of the 70s here on the All 60s edition. That's Joe Simon. Joe Simon, October 1970 on the Soundstage 7 label. Song entitled When, as we continue here. And up next, a duo out of Los Angeles, California. They were twin brothers. They were Bobby and Kenny Sims, or Kenneth Sims, first recording for Sam Cooke's SAR record label back in 1961. In 65, they moved to the Omen label. I think they had one release. Then in 67, they had this release on the Parkway label, a tune arranged by H.B. Barnum. Let's go to March 1968. These are the Sims Twins. The Sims Twins on the Parkway label. The song is called Together.
Together, we'll be together. Of us may break up and drift far apart, but you will always be here in my heart. Together, we'll be together. Oh yes, long as the sea coming to cover the sand, long as you're a woman and I am a man, we'll always be just you and me together. Oh, oh, I'm making my plan. It's just a
take your hand, and we will fly off to space. We'll always be just you and me together. We'll be together. We'll be together. Oh, we will. We'll be together. Yeah. We'll be together. Oh, yeah. We'll be together. Yeah. We'll be together.
That's actually on a B-side there, and released in March 68. Mark, it's got an odd Parkway number, 6007. It was, I think they were known as Cameo Parkway at the time there. The Sims Twins there, that's a B-side song entitled Together, as we are together here on a Monday evening, listening on Oldies and More Radio, also live on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe to my YouTube station. Also click the like, thumbs up button and subscribe to my program here so you get emails of when Johnny G will be live. Let's continue here, and I have been featuring a number of singles by this group from Allentown, Pennsylvania here on my 60s edition. They had 8 singles on the Smash label. Now, the lead singer was a member of both the Sinceres that recorded for the Jordan record label, I think in 1960, and also the Floridians recorded for ABC Paramount. That was in the early 60s, but he found success as the lead singer of Jay and the Techniques, and this was their debut single, their first of 8, and a cover song. This first came out in a 1966 LP done by Sam the Sham and the Pharaohs. It was called The Best of Sam the Sham and the Pharaohs, and the song was called Ready or Not. And this tune produced by Jerry Ross, arranged by Joe Renzetti. And I'm playing a hit tonight. Is this my biggest hit for tonight? Did I play an earlier hit earlier in the show? Yes, I did. I played Papa's Got a Brand New Bag. That's considered a hit. And here's a second hit here. This was number 6 on Billboard, number 8 on the R&B chart, number 4 on Cashbox, but a number 1 record on hundreds of stations. I couldn't list them all. It features Jay Proctor on lead. March 1967. It's Time for a Hit by Jay and the Techniques on the Smash label. It's called Apple Peaches Pumpkin Pie. I hope I don't get a copyright on this.
Ready or not, here I come. Gee, that used to be such fun. Apple peaches, pumpkin pie. Who not ready? That's a game we used to play. Yeah. Hide and seek was its name. Ready or not, here I come. Gee, that used to be such fun. I always used to find a hiding place. Time to change. Well, I'm one step behind you, but still I can't find you. Apple peaches, pumpkin pie. You were younger, so was I. Now that we've grown up, it seems you just keep ignoring me. Oh, I'll find you anywhere you go. I'm gonna look high and low. You can escape this love of mine anytime. Well, I'll sneak up behind you. Be careful when I find you. Apple peaches, pumpkin pie. Soon your love will be all mine. Then I'm gonna take you home, marry
It's here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, the All 60s edition, and a crappy styrene that plays pretty decent, I'd have to say. You know, it's pot luck with the styrenes, especially the Smash releases there. But what a cool tune that is. Apple Peaches, Pumpkin Pie, Jay Proctor and the Techniques, March 1967 on the Smash label. That's their first release. Always fun to hear that tune. Here's another one of my aunt's favorites by this gal from Kingstree, South Carolina. Actually, we're going to do a triple play by this gal. And her career began back in 1960 recording for the Nomar record label. The song was called All in My Mind. That is a great tune by her, by the way. But others followed on Nomar and ABC Paramount and, of course, the Wand record label. This was her 5th of 19 releases on the Wand label. And I think that might include records with duets with Chuck Jackson, too, by the way. But this is a Carole King, Jerry Goffin composition arranged by Bert Keys, charted number 24 on the Billboard chart, 22 on Cashbox, was a big R&B hit for her, number 2, and also a big number 2 record on WVON out of Chicago. This is from September 64. I needed a lead-in for the next record for Miss Maxine Brown on the Wand record label, a great tune. It's called Oh No, Not My Baby.
When my friends told me you had someone new, I didn't believe a single word was true. I showed them all I had of faith in you. I just kept on saying, oh no, not my baby. Oh no, not my sweet baby. You're not like those other guys who lead you on and tell you lies. My mama told me when rumors spread there's truth somewhere and I should use my head, but I didn't listen to what she said. I kept right on saying, oh no, not my baby. Oh no, not my sweet baby. You're not like those other boys who play with hearts like they were toys. Well, you might have had a last-minute fling, but I am sure it didn't mean a thing. 'Cause yesterday you gave me your ring, and now I'm glad that I kept on saying, oh no, not my baby. Oh no, not my sweet baby. You're not like those other guys who lead you on and tell you lies. Oh no, not my baby. Oh no, not my sweet baby. Oh no, not my baby. No, 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 not my sweet baby. Oh no.
That's the great sound of Maxine Brown there, her 5th of 19 on the Wand record label. Oh No, Not My Baby, released in September 1964 there. Maxine Brown. Now, how about a twin spin with Miss Maxine here? Now, after she left Wand Records in 1968, she signed with Epic Records for 2 releases, only 2 releases. This is her first. This is the B-side of her 45, a tune produced by Mike Terry, but we're going to hear both sides of this 45 here. Let's give a listen to the up-tempo side. This was the B-side from June 1968. Maxine Brown on Epic Records. It's called Plum Outta Sight. That's a twin spin there with Miss Maxine Brown. Not known for her up-tempo sides, really. Not that fast there, but that's a B-side there from June 1968 on the Epic record label. Plumb Out of Sight is the name of the tune. But let's flip it over here because this is the intended A-side of the 45 as I quickly flip it over. And it is in VG condition at best. They sound pretty good because I used Dawn dishwashing liquid and a soft toothbrush on this one, and this is the A side. This charted number 17 on WOKS in Columbus, Georgia. It's from June 68. This is the A side. Maxine Brown on Epic Records. It's called "Seems You've Forsaken My Love."
Afraid that I'm about to find out the truth right now. Find out the truth, oh baby. 'C's at the batting of an eye, all your eyes fall out right before me. They fall out right before me, oh baby. Seems you've forsaken my love and throw it down by the wayside. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Are you serious, or is it just a game that you play? A game that you've been playing, oh baby. Have you thought about the things you used to do? You don't do lately. All my friends are saying, oh baby, since you've forsaken my love and thrown it down by the wayside. Ooh, 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 ooh. No longer you can see the fact that your love is no longer real, and it's very plain to see that your love is escaping me. Oh, ooh, each time we kiss, I can feel kisses growing colder. Kisses growing colder, oh baby. So if this is goodbye, roll your eyes, go before my tears fall. Just go before my tears fall, oh baby. Since you've forsaken my love and thrown it down by the wayside. Since you've forsaken my love, thrown it down by the wayside. Since you've forsaken my love.
That's a triple play by Miss Maxine Brown. We played both sides of her first release on the Epic record label. That was the A-side from June 68 called Seems You've Forsaken My Love. The flip side, a jump tune there, Plumb Out of Sight is the name of that one. Hope you're digging on the cool 1960s 45s. Let's continue here for this singer, guitarist, songwriter. Born in New Orleans, Louisiana in the late 1950s, early 60s, he was an established session musician. Then in 1961, he recorded for Imperial Records. He was managed by Joe Jones. You know Joe Jones of You Talk Too Much fame, who brought him to the attention of Lieber and Stoller, who just started some new labels, both Redbird, Tiger, and Blue Cat Records, for which this singer has releases on. Now, this was his second of three, and for Blue Cat, I don't know if he did three on Blue Cat or on all three of those labels, I don't recall how I wrote it. But the tune written by Carl Hogan and Wardell, that name, I know this name, Quazerque. Is that how I say it, Brian? I've seen that name on Soul Records, I have. Quezerque, however you pronounce that. Anyway, May 1965, give a listen to Alvin Robinson. Alvin Robinson on Blue Cat Records. It's called Bottom of My Soul. This is from 65.
Short and she's not tall, but what I need, she got it all. She's got it all, yes, all I need. She gets right down to the bottom of my soul. When I decide to take her out, I'm all that she talks about. She makes me feel like I think I should. She gets right down to the bottom of my soul. Down to the bottom of my soul. Before I met her, I was in misery. Then she came by and took this hurt off me. Now she's here and I'm feeling good. She gets right down to the bottom of my soul. To the bottom of my soul. Some girls get you right from the start. They get you in the head and they get you in the heart. Some girls get you where it really hurts. She gets down to the bottom of my soul, yeah. The bottom of my soul. 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 Oh, the bottom of my soul.
That's Mr. Alvin Robinson. Alvin Robinson. That's on the Blue Cat record label, May 65 release. The song is called Bottom of My Soul. Is the name of that tune. I don't know what the flip is here. I have to tell. Reed is asking me the flip side here. The flip side is called Down Home Girl. So I don't know. They said there's an alternate flip. But I have Down Home Girl as the flip side there for that one. We continue here on the All 60s edition. Up next, this singer, he goes by the name of Bernie Moore, had 2 releases on Joe Davis's Burdette record label. Normally, I play his first from March 66 called I'll Never Begin to Forget. But let's give a listen to his follow-up. This is his second, produced by the label owner Joe Davis. This charted number 20 on KBYE in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, of all places, June 66. Bernie Moore on the Burdette record label. It's called I Wanna Be Loved to Death. Bernie Moore.
If a little bit of a good thing is bad, forget it and savor your breath. Now, I know what I want, and if it can be had, I'm gonna be loved to death. Now, if a little bit of a good thing is good, I don't plan to save no breath. No, I couldn't say no if I knew that I should. I today. Hey, come on and love. Yeah. All right. I wanna be kissed, I wanna be loved today. Come on and love me. I wanna be loved to death now. But don't waste my time, little girl. Got no time to hassle around with you. Don't waste my time. I wanna be loved.
That's going out for all of you who want to be loved to death. That's Bernie Moore. June 1966, that's his second release on the Bird Dead record label. I Want to Be Loved to Death is the name of that one. Let's move to 1965, back to 65 now for this gal. She had two releases on the ABC Paramount record label, both arranged and conducted by Johnny Pate. This is her second, and both were also produced by Eddie Thomas. Now, Eddie Thomas, he was a member of the Daylighters. The Daylighters that recorded for the Tip Top record label and also B&Baby Records, and I'm guessing that she's might be out of Chicago because of that, but her name is Martha Jean Love. Martha Jean Love, this is her second release from July 65 on ABC Paramount. The song is called Nice Guy. Cover tunes here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, and I just remember, yes, Reed mentions that that this song first done by Shona and the Party Lights. What is that label? It's I have mine on a white promo distributed by London as I lose my mind there. But they did it first, I think, in 1964. This is a 1965 cover by Martha Jean Love, July 1965, on the ABC Paramount record label, her rendition of the tune Nice Guy. Johnny G is a nice guy. Those people that know me, I could be a nasty guy, but I try not to be. But easily I could. Just talk to my friends, they will tell you. But I'm mostly a nice guy, especially Chicory, that's it. It's on the Chicory label. Thank you, Reed. But I'm usually nice on the show unless I get really peed off. But then you'll know when I'm not nice. But anyway, I'm nice tonight. Let's continue here with a request for Jerry Nazin, as this next artist, born in Chicago, Illinois, started singing with the Pilgrim Travelers back in 1957, but began his solo career in 1960, recording for the Chardee label. I have that 45 too, by the way. And he signed with Capitol Records in 1961. He had 28 releases between 1961 and 1970. Now, his biggest release on the Capitol label came out in 1966. It was his 13th release. You may know the song Love is a Hurtin' Thing. But listener Jerry Nazin, he requested his 16th of 28 releases. Now, this was number 31 on Cashbox, 29 on Billboard, number 3 on the R&B charts, and a number 1 record in a bunch of places. KYA in San Francisco, California, WPAG in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and also in Flint, Michigan, where Darrell is, WTAC and WTRX. Let's go back to March 1967 for Mr. Lou Rawls. Lou Rawls on the Capitol label. This is for Jerry. It's called Dead End Street. Wait. Can't have that.
I was born in a city that they call the Windy City. They call it the Windy City because of the hawk. The hawk, the almighty hawk. Mr. Wind takes care of plenty of business around winter time. The place that I lived in was on a street that happened to be one of the dead-end streets, where there was nothing to block the wind, the elements, nothing to buffer them for me, to keep them from knocking my bed down, Jim. I mean, really stocking it to me. When the boiler would bust and the heat was gone, Jim, I had to get fully dressed before I could go to bed. Of course, I couldn't put on my goulashes because they had buckles on them, and my folks didn't play that. They said, don't you tear up my bed clothes with some goulashes on. But I was fortunate. As soon as I was big enough to get a job and save enough money, get a ticket, catch anything, I split. I said, one day I'm gonna return, and I'm gonna straighten it all out. And I'm about ready to go back now. So I thought I'd tell you about it. They say this is a big rich town, but I live in the poorest part. I know I'm on a dead-end street in a city without a heart. I learned to fight before I was 6, the only way I could get along. When you're raised on a dead-end street, you gotta be tough and strong. Now all the guys I know getting in trouble, that's how it's always been. When the odds are all against you, how can you win? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna push my way out of here, even though I can't say when. But I'm gonna get off of this dead-end street, and I ain't never gonna come back again. Never. No. I'm gonna push my way out of here, even though I can't say when. But I'm gonna get off of this day. I'm gonna get me a job. I'm gonna save my dough. Get away from here. I ain't gonna come back no more. I'm tired of a dead-end street. I wanna get out in the world and learn something. Tired of breaking my back. I wanna start using my mind.
That's going out to Jerry Nays in there, the sound of Lou Rawls. Lou Rawls from March 1967. That's on the Capitol record label. That was a big hit in certain regional markets. Pretty cool tune there. Dead End Street is the name of the tune. You know, Johnny G lived on a dead end street, I think from 1958 to 1963. Was my grandmother's street. It was called Pleasant Street. And I lived at 13 Pleasant Street. It was how many houses are number 13, really? It was a dead-end street, so when the snowplow used to come in, you know, there's no way out. You just have to plow all the snow at the end of the street, and there'd be this big mound of snow when we used to get a lot of snow. But, and I used to climb up on there, and we were right next to the Phillipsburg Manor restorations. You should check that out if you come my way. It's pretty like, like the... I don't know who they were that settled there, but it's really like a kind of historic place along the Hudson River. Lots of great historic places on the Hudson River, I would suggest. And if you take the train ride, you take the Hudson line. It drives right along the Hudson River. Very scenic view. How do we get to talking about scenes here? But how about a twin spin on Lou Rawls, because I couldn't resist. I rarely feature Lou Rawls here on the program, but this was a number 16 hit on Cashbox, 13 on Billboard. Was a big number 1 R&B hit for him. I hope I'm not pushing it. Who said I was pushing the bots tonight? I am. But this was a big number 1 record on WWRL, if you were tuned in here in New York City, and also WJLB in Detroit and WBEE in Chicago and WWIN in Baltimore and WNJR in Newark and also WVON in Chicago. This was a big hit for this guy. From August 66, Lou Rawls, a twin spin on the Capitol label, and I like this tune. It's called Love is a Hurtin' Thing. Lou Rawls.
For every little kiss, there's a little teardrop. For every single thrill, there's another heartache. The road is rough, the going gets tough. Yes, love is a hurting thing. Oh, love is a hurting thing. When you're in my arms, I'm a king on the throne. But when we're apart, I walk the streets alone. One day happiness, the next day loneliness. Love is a hurting thing. Oh, love is a hurting thing. When love brings so much joy, why must it bring such pain? Guess it's a mystery that nobody can explain. Maybe I'm a fool to keep on loving you, 'cause there may come a time you'll break my heart in two. But I want you so, I want you though I know that love is a hurting thing. Oh, love is a hurting thing. Love is a hurting thing.
That's a twin spin there from Mr. Lou Rawls. We heard Dead End Street for Jerry Nason. We opened up with his biggest hit for the Capitol label. Lou Rawls there from August 66, Love is a Hurtin' Thing, on the Capitol record label, as I mentioned. Of course, his biggest hit was in 1976. That was the year Johnny G graduated from high school. His first release on the Philadelphia International record label was a song called You'll Never Find Another Love Like Mine. Now, I bought that 45 when it came out back in 1976. Unfortunately, he passed away on January 6, 2006 at the age of 73 from cancer. But we remember Mr. Lou Rawls here on the Vinyltreasure show. Let's continue here. We go back to Chicago, Illinois, to the label called Celtex. Celtex. Looks like latex, but it's Celtex here. This artist goes by the name of Tim. Isn't it ironic that I played a record earlier called Top Shelf, and this song is called Tim? How ironic. But this is a song he co-wrote. His name is Timothy Smith, and we have Timothy in our YouTube chat room too. So how ironic is this, folks? But this on this single, he just goes by the name of Tim. He has other releases as Timothy Smith, I should say, but or maybe he doesn't, as I messed that up. October 1965. Tim on the Celtics record label. It's called I Need Your Love. October 65 release there on the Celtex record label. The song is called I Need Your Love. The artist's name, is just the name Tim, but his name is Timothy Smith there. He co-wrote the tune, song entitled I Need Your Love. Let's continue here as we get close to the closing time here. We may do some overtime here, depending how Johnny G feels. But here's a singer from Rogers, Texas, started recording way back in 1955 for Sid Nathan's King record label. In 1958, he had releases on Ace Records, which was out of Mississippi, then a couple on the Anna label out of Detroit, and another record on the Jalen record label out of Philadelphia. I mean, this guy was all over. Then a whole bunch of singles on the Dial label, and beginning in 1961 through 1975, his biggest 45 was from 72, was a song called I Gotcha. It came out on the Dial record label. But the odd thing is he had one release on Sam Montell's Michelle record label in late 1964. So I don't know how this Michelle thing came up, but I had it in my collection. Let's give it a spin. Late 1964, Mr. Joe Tex. Joe Tex on the Michelle label. It's called I've Got a Song.
Song, and I wanna sing it. If you'll help me sing it, we'll sing it together. So now if you come on, it won't take long for us to sing this song. For us to sing this song. Listen, I've got a dance, and I want to dance it. So if you'll help me dance it, we'll dance it together. If you come on and take a chance and help me do this little dance. Come on and let's do this dance. It won't take long if you come on. Nothing to lose. You ain't got a thing to lose. No. I got some money, and I'm gonna spend it. If you'll help me spend it, we'll spend it together. Listen, don't worry if my dough should get low, 'cause I can get a little more. I go home and get some more.
That's the sound of Joe Tex here on the All 60s edition of the Vinyl Treasure Show. That oddball release on the Michelle record label, Sam Montell. See, he owned Montell Records and Michelle Records, late 64. Joe Tex with I've Got a Song. Johnny G had a lot of songs tonight as we continue here for this gal from East Orange, New Jersey. She's Dionne Warwick's younger sister, began recording for Jubilee Records back in 1963. Then she signed with Blue Rock. Let's give a listen to her third of three on the Blue Rock record label, produced by Ed Townsend, arranged by Horace Ott. This charted number 33 on the KAPE radio station in San Antonio, Texas. And you know, you don't know what you get with these crappy styrene 45s, so this is pot luck on this one from October 1965. Miss Dede Warwick. Dede Warwick on the Blue Rock record label. It's called Gotta Get a Hold of Myself.
I know you're not coming back anymore. So why, oh why, do I keep on watching the door? lose my mind if I keep on acting this way. Gotta get a hold of myself. Gotta make believe I don't care. Gotta go someplace, find a friendly place. Gotta get out and get some air. Late at night, I hear footsteps sound down the hall. I kid myself that you're coming back after all. Telephone rings, but there's no one on the line. No, no, no. And when I stop and think, I know it's all in my mind. Gotta get a hold of myself. Gotta take what life has to give. Gotta give it a try. Can't lay down and die. Gotta get a hold of myself and live a life of my own. Gotta take what life has to give. Gotta give it a try. I won't lay down and die. Gotta get a hold of myself. Gotta get a hold of myself. Gotta get a
That's Miss Dede Warwick. Dede Warwick, October 65 release, her third release on the Blue Rock record label. Gotta Get a Hold of Myself is the name of that too. Now, the Blue Rock record label was a subsidiary of Mercury Records, and after that one that I just featured, her next 11 releases came out on the parent label, Mercury Records. So how about a twin spin for Miss Dede Warwick? This is her 7th of 11 on the Mercury label. This tune written by Kenny Gamble and Leon Huff. They also produced this song from August 1968. A twin spin for Miss Dede Warwick on Mercury Records. It's called I'll Be Better Off, parentheses, Without You.
Ever since we met, my heart's been in pain. Loneliness has come, and it's driving me insane. Promises you made, fool,
I hate styrene 45s. You know that, folks. That's Miss Dede Warwick. That's a twin spin. That one there on the Mercury record label, her 7th of 11 on a Mercury, August 68. I'll Be Better Off Without You is the name of the tune. We are in Vinyl Treasure overtime momentarily, so we'll continue for a little bit as we head back to Chicago for this group called The Traits, not to be confused with Roy Head's group called The Traits. This group consisted of William Ledbetter, William Kirk Davis, Kenny Rydell, Gregory Eastland, and Ronald Christian. The group would re-record this song in 1971 as The Center Stage on the Dispo record label, to be picked up by RCA Records. So you may have this resung version on RCA, or maybe the original version on Dispo Records, but it first came out in October of 1966 on a label called Contact, and this charted number 23 on WBEE in Chicago. This is from October 66. This is the first release by The Traits on the Contact label. It's called Someday, Some Way. They're called The Traits. The Traits from October 66 came out on the Contact record label. Someday, Some Way is the name of the tune. They have another one on the Contact label as the Original Traits, or ORIG Traits. That's what they're known. We are in Vinyl Treasure overtime now. Let's go for this duet out of Washington, D.C. They are Bonita Conrad and Larry L. Jordan. They have this lone release that came out on the Philly-based Fairmount record label, and they go by the names of Bonnie and Lee. We're going to give a listen to the intended B-side of the 45. Actually, both sides are pretty nice on this, but this is from June 67. It's Bonnie and Lee on the Fairmount label. It's called The Way I Feel About You. Bonnie and Lee.
So that's what you
Yes, it's true, that's what they've made me think, you see. For they all knew I was gullible and true.
Oh, but people's talk, I'm glad to say, didn't seem to change in any way the way I feel about you, baby.
Just how your love would be. Well, I've been wondering all this time, sweet love, what you really were thinking then of me.
Listen to this, they said you'd hurt me and leave me broken hearted. That's why I was so unsure of you. All the people's talk, I'm glad to say, didn't seem to change in any way. Cause it's just the way I feel. Cause it's just the way I feel. Cause it's just the way that I feel about you, baby. No need, little baby, to ask why I love so true. It's just the way that I feel about you, baby, that makes it such a groove to feel the way I do. Cause it's just the way I feel. Oh, it's just the way I feel. Cause it's just the way that I feel about you, baby. No need, little baby, to ask why I love so true. It's just the way that I feel about you, baby. It's just the way.
That's a duet out of Washington, D.C. They're Bonnie and Lee, Bonita Conrad and Larry L. Jordan. That's their names. June 67 release on the Fairmount record label, The Way I Feel About You. When I researched this today, there was a Facebook post by them. Actually, they both are deceased, but their children were talking about their parents on this. It was very interesting there, but it's a cool tune. Their only release for that duet. Let's go to Houston, Texas now for this next group. They would eventually have a #1 national Billboard hit with a song called The Tighten Up. Came out on the Atlantic record label, but their debut single came out on the Ovide label in 1967. It was then picked up by East West Records out of New York City. Tune written by the lead singer. His name is Archie Bell. As we go back to July 1967 for Archie Bell and the Drells. I have it on the East West label. It's called She's My Woman, She's My Girl.
Now most people talk about their many lovers, and the things that derive from their many troubles. But I just talk about my baby. I love her and I don't mean maybe. She's my woman, she's my girl. She's my woman, she's my girl. Now everybody I meet says I'm lucky to have a little girl that's sweet as you. But words can't express the way I love her, and I do anything for her. She's my woman, she's my girl. She's my woman, she's my girl. Now most you fellas think your girls are pretty, but I say, man,
You ought to see mine. She's so sweet and I love her. I'm gonna place no one above her. She's my woman. She's my girl. She's a woman. She's my girl. She's a woman. Everybody knows she's my girl. She's a woman. She knows she's my girl.
That's the sound of Archie Bell and the Drells there, July 1967 release. That originally came out on the Ovid label in 67, and then it was released on East West Records, and there's two presses of this. I checked it. It was also in the Ferdy Gonzalez's disco file. My copy starts with it's got the long number 55102, and it's got a New York address there. So this is the one that was pressed by Atlantic Records. And then Reed mentions the 2000 series. That must be the chess press. So there are two presses of this East-West. I don't know which one's rarer or whatever. I would say the Ovid is the rarest to have if you want this record. But let's continue here. You know, they're blocking, they temporarily blocked my video, like I really know what song it was that I was playing that I needed to stop, because it couldn't have been that song. That wasn't a hit. I mean, I don't know what they were talking about. Was it the Fairmount release? I don't know. I can't tell you what. And the odd thing is, when the show posts up, they're not blacked out. They're just doing it. I don't know if they're doing it live or somebody's watching my show or what, but it's stupid. Let's continue here for a twin spin. How about a twin spin on the Archie Bell and the Drells as they signed with Atlantic in 1968. And Santi, you're going to dance to this tune. They did do a lot of cool dance records. Now, their biggest hit, as I mentioned, was their first release right out of the box on the Atlantic label called The Tighten Up. But let's do this twin spin with Archie Bell and the Drells. This is their 8th of 14 on Atlantic. Tune written by Kenny Gamble and Leon Huff. Came out in November of 1969. This is on Atlantic Records, Archie Bell and the Drells. It's called Here I Go Again.
Oh, darling, darling, darling. Here I go again, thinking with my heart. Here I go again, blinded by the dark. I should
That's a twin spin with Archie Bell and the Drells there. That's on the Atlantic label. That's his 8th of 14 for Atlantic. November 69 release. Here I Go Again is the name of the tune. Here they go. They're going to block it off again. They're going to block it off again here. But that is terrible why they're doing that. But so that's going to make me want to close off the show here. So let's see. 1, 2. You know what? We're going to close off. Well, let's do 2 more here. If it comes back, this is ridiculous. I'm telling you, it really is. So let's do, we're going to do 2 more 45s here before they're forcing Johnny G to leave. Is what they are. They want me to leave is what they do, because I'm past my 3-hour limit. I need 1,000 subscribers in order to get. See, they don't want me to go longer than 3 hours. They let me go 4 hours on Saturday night. Maybe Saturday night's like a free night, but Monday night they want me to sign off. And they block the videos there. It's pretty bad. That's bad. But this next singer, born in Arkansas, but he was raised in Omaha, Nebraska, then later relocated out to the West Coast. He joined a vocal group in 1958. They were called the Sliders. They have a release on the Chevron record label. I have Stand There Mountain, or something about the mountain, which I have played on my 50s show. But in 1963, he sang in a duet with his wife, Jewel Whitaker, as Vernon and Jewel on the Baytone and the Kent record labels. Then in 1966, he went solo with releases on Modern, Kent, and this label I'm featuring, the Venture label. This was his first of 3 on the Venture label, produced by Clarence Paul. We go back to August 1968 for Vernon Garrett. Vernon Garrett on the Venture label. It's called Love Has Caught Me. I'm telling you. Well, let me announce this record here. There you go. That's August 1968. That's Vernon Garrett on the Venture record label. Song entitled "Love Has Caught Me." And that's his first of 3 on Venture, produced by Clarence Paul. That's going to do it for Johnny G and the Vinyltreasure Show. Kind of pissed off about YouTube about that. They only do it on this show. But anyway, that's going to do it for Johnny G and the Vinyltreasure Show. I want to thank you for joining Johnny G, listening to original vinyl 45s out of my collection. If you want to get in touch with me, send me an email at vinyltreasures@aol.com. 60s are more difficult than 50s requests. I will tell you that much. So it's potluck, but you never know, I may find it. Like that dead-end street that I found that I didn't get a strike on for some reason. But I don't know what's up with YouTube, so I apologize in advance. It actually pisses off the watchers because, you know, when the picture isn't there, people just get fed up. It's like losing the stream. You're going to lose half your viewers. It's bull as far as I'm concerned. But I'll, at least Monday nights, those of you in Oldies and More, I think you got me tuned in. Maybe Chipper's watching me on the video, but it's disappointing, so I'm sorry for that, but I have no control over it. It's YouTube that is the pain, and the owners of the, you know, and they don't even get it right. I told you, they said, you played Bing Crosby. I said, I did not. I played the Planets from 57. How do you get that confused with Bing Crosby, you fool? Gotta keep calm, Dave. Gotta keep calm. Anyway, that's going to do it for tonight. Thank you all for tuning in to the Vinyltreasure Show this evening. And you know what? I'm closing with a hit tonight, and we'll see if they cut me off. I'm cutting off with a hit by the Rascals on the Atlantic record label. It's called A Ray of Hope, if there is a ray of hope here, because that's my closer tonight. Totally unprepared to play that record, but I'm going to play another hit and close the show tonight. But anyway, hopefully it didn't ruin the cool records that I played earlier. So thank you all for tuning in tonight, and I'll see you either next Monday night beginning at 8 o'clock, 8 to 11 p.m., and right here on Oldies and More Radio or on YouTube, or I'll see you Saturday night at 10 o'clock, 10 to midnight on, no, 9 to midnight. 9 to midnight. You see what happens? I'm not a nice guy now. You don't want to talk to Johnny G now. I'm not a nice guy. But anyway, thank you all for tuning in tonight, and I'll be back next Monday night, or I'll see you, like I said, Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So thank you all. Everyone have a good remainder of the week, and just take care. And we're closing with the Rascals, A Ray of Hope.
Together, gotta get together.